Hello, my name is Damon Matthews, and I am giving my presentation today on engine failure in a Cessna 172. So, just a quick overview. The plane, of course, we're flying is a Cessna 172. The situation we're in is a solo cross-country at 4,500 feet AGL with VFR conditions. And of course, our emergency of choice is a sudden engine failure. So what we are going to be doing to solve this, we are going to be going through what we have been taught, such as going through our checklist, testing to see what could possibly be the problem and how are we going to fix it, whether that be testing each and every system to rule out all possibilities, and if so, if we can't fix it, perform our emergency landing. So, what causes engine failure? Well, there are many different causes, such as fuel exhaustion or fuel contamination. Are we out of fuel? Maybe we didn't check. Was the fuel contaminated with, like, you could say water from condensation? This is very important stuff. We make sure we check in our pre-flight situation. Some other things could be mechanical failure. This is pretty decently serious one. It could happen to anybody. Also, another one to think about, carb icing. If we forgot to turn the carb heat on and now our carburetor's all blocked up, that could possibly be it. Or we could have just accidentally changed the fuel selector valve. It happens. But these can all cause major engine failure, which can be a very dangerous situation for all pilots. So, what do we need to do when an engine failure occurs? Well, first, as the pilots, we should first fly the aircraft, of course. In the case of an engine failure, we want to make sure we still maintain control of the aircraft. With this, we are going to put ourselves into our best glide pattern, which would be 65 knots. And then next, we would navigate, find where we're at. What places around us could we possibly land at in case we need to? Look for preferably fields. You want to make sure they are a light green or yellowish color so you know they're dry. You do not want to land in a dark green field. That will be a very muddy and wet field, and that could cause some problems in landing. And then communicate. When we are in our emergency, we should immediately switch over to our emergency frequency, 121.5. We should also switch our transponder to 7700. Once we are on 121.5, we should contact ACC saying, Mayday, Mayday, Mayday. This will let them know we are in a state of emergency, and with us squawking 7700, they know it is a problem with the aircraft. So with all this overview, we should, 1, prioritize flying the aircraft. Of course, if we stop flying the aircraft, it could cause a whole load of problems. Second, of course, look for a great place to land. You don't want to land in like a busy street, muddy fields. Nice either dry field or a non-busy street. And then get on your emergency frequency, contact ATC, tell them give Mayday, 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 squawk 7700 so they know exactly what emergency you're in. So, once we are engine failure, we should start our restart checklist. This usually is in every single aircraft. You'll have this either with the handbook or in my experience, we have a actual checklist that tells us exactly what we need to do. So starting on that checklist, we should first turn our carb heat on. Make sure our fuel selector is on both, mixture is rich, throttle is about a 1/4 inch out, magnetos to both or to start, and the primer is make sure that is in and locked. And of course, make sure while we are doing this checklist, you are still flying the plane, as that should be your main priority. With that, just go through the checklist, make sure everything is working, and while you're going through that, of course, fly the plane. We don't want to end up crashing. So, if the restart fails, we should, of course, look for a forced landing. We're going to be landing. So, like I said, we should be looking for a nice dry field or a non-busy street that also does not have anything such as like power lines on the side that the airplane could hit. And we also want to make sure we are landing in an area that we can reach at our best glide speed, which right now, 65 knots. So before that, we will then run our before landing checklist. We'll put our mixture to idle. Well, 1 second. Okay, yeah. We'll turn our fuel selector off. We'll turn our magnetos off. We want to put our flaps in our best position we need them at, usually 30 degrees. That'll put us in our best glide. We are simulating landing, so. And then we want to turn our master switch off just before we land. And then as soon as we touch down, we want to get as slow as possible, make sure we're landing safely. So, as our best glide speed, we're not going to have a lot of thrust. So if we need to maneuver at all, we should take nice slow turns. On the turn coordinator, there is a little knob that shows where you should be turning at our best speed. And then, of course, we should maintain 65 knots. That'll give us our perfect glide speed, which will be our maintained descent. And then for our safe landing, make sure we are maintaining the best glide, maintaining 65 knots, our flaps are down. Everything is according to the checklist that will ensure we stay safe while landing. Now, of course, once you have finally landed, first thing, you want to check for injuries. Anything has happened, you want to make sure those are treated immediately, and everyone is safely evacuated out of the aircraft. You want to get out, and you want to exit backwards towards the empennage, never towards the propeller. After you are out of the plane and safe, you want to make sure it's secured, make sure nothing interferes with it, nothing touches it, nothing moves it. It's in its nice landing position. And then once you're there, you want to contact emergency services and ATC. Let them know exactly what is going on. So once that is done, you'll go back, you'll file a incident report. We'll fill out all that information. You'll most likely have people from the FAA coming to inspect what happened. Make sure you go along with them and be as helpful as possible in understanding what happened, what could have done differently, and just overall, how could we have avoided that landing. So, at the end of the day, a pilot in emergency, it's best to make sure you are staying calm and aware of the training you have done. Most of us are trained for this already. We go up, do simulated engine failure. So just stick to your training, stick to the checklist, and you should be A-okay. And then also make sure we are going through pre-flight more thoroughly. This could have been avoided, maybe because you forgot to check the fuel. That could happen. Maybe you accidentally changed the fuel selector. It happens to everybody. We just want to make sure that our pre-flight is more thoroughly done. than what you should really do. Personally, if I'm going up, I will, of course, go through the entire checklist from start to finish throughout the entire flight. As soon as we're getting the plane ready, me and my flight instructor, we will both inspect the aircraft. We will both talk with each other, make sure that the aircraft is safe, everything is up to standards, and that nothing is wrong with the aircraft. And once in flight, make sure everything is going smoothly, following your checklist. If so, then you're doing good. Landing, of course, just follow the checklist, and as soon as you land, checklist, and then you're good. And hopefully it will not result in an engine failure. So, in conclusion, engine failures happen to everyone. It's something that you could have avoided, something you couldn't have avoided. Whether, like I said before, it's something to do with the fuel, carb icing, or maybe something happened in the repair shop and they had a mechanical failure. Things happen. It's not your fault. Make sure you just stay calm, collective, and make sure you are sticking to your training and what you know. In this situation, it will only get worse and worse the more you panic. Just take out your checklist, make sure you first fly the airplane, then make sure you find your best place to land, then communicate with ATC so they know exactly what's going on and they can assist you in any way possible. And then, of course, the more you stay calm, the higher chances you are, surviving. This is an event that'll happen to everyone one day or another, pretty much guaranteed. And, staying calm, better you'll do. Conclusion. These are all the sources I decided to use. They were very helpful in finding out what information needed to be put down, what information needed to be followed, and exactly what I should do in case of an emergency such as an engine failure. And then once again, I just want to say, quick overview. As soon as engine failure happens, follow your checklist. As soon as engine failure happens, get to your best glide speed. Make sure you're flying the aircraft. Look for your good place to land, whether that be a dry field or an empty road. Contact ATC. If you are forced to land, make sure you are in your correct landing position, whether that be get yourself on your best glide pattern, and prepare yourself with your before landing checklist. And make sure you reduce your speed as much as possible. After landing, of course, contact ATC, emergency services. Make sure the plane is untouched and in its natural position. As soon as that's done, work with the FAA, make sure they are able to find out what happened, what could have caused this, and just make sure you participate in their investigation. And in conclusion, just make sure you're following that checklist. And staying calm and I was able to find these throughout the internet. They were very helpful in helping me understand the process, especially where is it at? Here it is, the National Transportation Safety Board and Accidents and Incidents. This helped me on the info of now being able to understand what happens exactly after the crash and the process that takes place with the FAA investigation, filling out your incident report, talking with maintenance, trying to figure out what happened, what went wrong, how it could have been avoided. It was very helpful in helping me fill out this PowerPoint. And all these other sources I was able to easily find online, especially some main ones, the pilot handbook. I'll have access to that. The nautical knowledge. This was pretty nice, and just an overall study of exactly all the information I needed on all the procedures, such as all the checklists. And of course, the pilot's operating handbook, of course, also helped with understanding the procedures I should take and how the engine works, what could be causing this engine failure, and what I could be doing to change the outcome and hopefully provide a safe landing or we fix our engine failure.